Just finished my first week of 5k training, culminating in a 3 mile race. Let's see how it went. My goal is to get sub 2:40 at London Marathon next year, but to do that I need to get quicker over the shorter distances. So I committed last week to actually going for it in the 5k, which I've never really done before. So I can say now that I did actually do a week of 5k training. I was able to really nail down a 5k specific training session, but I also managed to be sensible as I'm still just coming back from illness and just coming back from the marathon. So I actually managed to cut it down a little bit because I was feeling a little bit bad towards the end of the session. But what I did do is I made sure I got it done and I found out what my 5k pace feels like at the moment. And I got that lactic in the legs and that feeling of having to push. So the session was supposed to be 6 by 1k off 3 minutes rest at 5k effort. Now I didn't set myself an actual pace. I just wanted to go at what the effort was. So because there's no point hitting the pace if you don't know what it is, because I haven't done 5k training for quite a long time. So I did that. It turned out the first four I managed around 3:17 per kilometer to 3:20 per kilometer, which was faster than I thought it was going to be, but that's what it felt like. And I didn't do the 3 minutes. I also did 2 minutes for the rest because I just felt like 3 minutes was too long. So that was good. But then when I got to the fifth one, my legs started really feeling it and I started coughing a bit. So I stopped it at halfway and thought, no, that's a decent session. I feel like if I'd really pushed, I could have done it. And maybe the next one as well, but there was no point pushing myself to get more ill, especially considering I had a race later in the week. So it was a new thing for me to kind of drop out of a session, but at the same time, I think it was the right thing to do. It's all about growing up and being a little bit more mature with my running. Got a bit of footage from the start of the race. That's good to see. It's a really good local event, part of the East Wales road racing series as well. So it's quite well attended and a lot of Brecon AC runners, which is brilliant. With me looking to go under 17 minutes for the 5k, that actually equates to about a 16:20, 16:21 for the 3 mile. So let's see how close I can get to that. Off we go. So here we go for the start of the race. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to bring my camera with me as I had a bit of a nightmare with the car on the way over. So I ended up getting there at the last minute, left all my load of my stuff in the car. But never mind, I did bring my legs with me, which was useful. So I needed about 3:22 per kilometer to get that sub 17 equivalent. First one I went out in 3:18, so a nice start. I was right towards the front. Second one, 3:18 again, and then the third, 3:19. Then the fourth kilometer's got a bit of a hill in it. I managed to 3:32, and then finished the last 0.8 of a kilometer in 3:21. So that said, then got round in 16:15. So that's under the target. And we've also got a nice picture of me struggling at the end. Bit blurry, but I think you can see that I was giving it everything. I've got to say, I'm not normally a fan of the shorter races, but I think I might not be a fan of running shorter races really badly. Because I think normally I go out way too quickly and end up struggling a lot quite early on in the race. This time it felt completely different. I'd done a couple of race pace practice sessions, so I knew I was confident at the pace I was going to run at. So I went out and my legs just felt okay until, the third or fourth kilometer, which is when you'd expect to start working. One of the really good things about the race was the fact that I just ran it to feel. I had an idea of pace, but I couldn't look at my heart rate. I am a stickler for looking at heart rate. Normally I'll be checking it here, there and everywhere. But because I didn't have my heart rate monitor because I left it in the car, I wasn't able to do that. So I just had to see how I felt and just run. I think I might have been a bit shocked at where it got to. So I'm a bit disappointed I can't see the data now. But ultimately, it's good for me to know that it doesn't matter. So if these things happen and things don't go perfectly, it really doesn't matter. I know my body and I know how fast I can run, which is really good. Also, this wasn't a completely flat race. There was about 50 meters of total elevation. If we look at the grade adjusted pace, we're looking at more like 3:17 per kilometer. I was looking to break 17 minutes in this training block, so I've got another 7 weeks of the training block. Realistically, that's where I am now, or maybe even a little bit faster. So I think it's time to rethink that and just look at how fast I can go. So the new goal will be 16:30 rather than 17 minutes, because I think that's something for me to work towards as I get that pace down as far as I can go. For the marathon, I needed to get it down to about 16:30, 16:40 would be great to have a good go at a 2:40 marathon. So we're looking in a good place, but let's just keep that 5K training going and see how fast I can get. My plan is now to run 70 to 80 kilometers per week, with those 5K specific sessions in there as well. I've got a few more races to do as well. So I've got a 4 mile in a couple of weeks. That's Llanfrynach again. 5 miles a couple of weeks later. Then I've got the Castles Relay, which I'm doing a leg into Newtown on the Saturday. That's just under half marathon distance. I'm not going to train specifically for that, but obviously I'm going to keep my long run going on the weekend just to make sure I've got that in my legs still. So not a priority. 5K is going to be the priority this summer. And let's see how fast I can get. Thanks ever so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.